Yo everybody, hope you're good. So today, in this tutorial, we're going to talk about probably the most important thing when making trance music, or any music, EDM, dance or whatever, and it's bass layering. Now, if you don't get your bass right, that's the foundation to the track. And no matter what you do, you can make the best melodies, chords, riffs or whatever in the world. If you haven't got your bass right, it's not going to sound good. And bass is always a combination of layering. I always say you've got three parts to a bass layer. You've got your sub, which is doing the bottom end. You've got the mid, which is the crunchy part. And you can have a few of these. And then you've got the top, plucky part, which is punching through the mix. And you put these together, it's a full sounding bass line. Now you put that with a kick drum, it's going to work. Now a lot of people always layer with the same kind of sounds, and you're always going to stay in that mid range. You're losing the other two. So without the other two, you're never going to make it work. So to start, let's just say you've got a loop, and this loop is just a kick, a normal loop and a clap. This is from my free sample pack as well. So we've got that. Okay, and I've got 4 basses here. Now I'm giving these away for free also when you have this tutorial. So first of all, let's get the normal, the obvious one, the sub. So let's stay in this key. Let's go away. Now let's just keep it in this key. Now we can work just here for now, just to get the sounds. Or tell you what, let's pull the kick drum in so we can have more of an active we can have a better understanding of how the relationship with the kick and the bass works. So this is, like I say, this is a free one. It's just a normal sub. So here we go. Okay, now let's go put a bit of kickstart on this. You know, you can use any sidechain, by the way, but this one just seems to work really easy for me. Okay, simple. That's just the bass, you know, the bottom end. Now we need to get the rolling rhythm going. So now if you struggle with patterns or rhythms, you can always download the MIDI pack off the site. So let's go. Here we go. So let's just get these in for now. Okay. But what we're going to do is we're going to make them move a little bit, because that's a bit stagnant. It's a bit like straight. So let's get this one. Take that up. And this one. Here we go. Okay, now let's put a bit of kickstart on this as well. And this is this was the bass line I used for the Cutff track I did with Gareth Emery. Pretty cool. So okay, we might need a little bit more push. Push it through the mix with Cutff. Okay, sounds cool, but this is a little bit lost in the mix. So it's quite far back. Now that needs to come through. Now instead of just whacking that up in volume, it's good, but it's too much. So we're going to layer that again. Let's go with, just copy and paste the same rhythm over. Like I said, this is another one which is free. All this is giving a little bit of top end, it's a little bit different to this one. You can never layer too similar because it's just going to phase. So this one, it's just a little bit different. It's adding a little bit of grit. So let's go and put kickstart again. Okay. Cool. Okay, and then another little bit. Let's just go with copy it down. I know this is saying cuts on all of these, but let's just go with another one. Again, copy the pattern down. Now you can see with this one, by the way, we don't want any more low end on these. We've already got the low end. We've already got the low end covered with the sub, so we don't want any more low end. If you keep putting bass lines on with, you know, I need to do that one as well. Let's do that now. Let's just take away some of the bottom end, and on this one as well, take away some of the bottom end, because it's just going to drown out and everything's just going to sound super muddy. So let's go into this one again. Oh, not that one. Here we go. Let's put a bit of kickstart. Let's get this one up a bit more. Okay, let's listen to them. Kick's a bit loud. And basically, there you have it. Now, there's going to be other things you can add in, like doom, 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 like, you know, little other rhythms. And you can add other, you know, you can layer these more if you want. A good trick, what I've always found, is layering a white noise over the top of the bass. And let me just do this now. Let's go with my Trance kit, which is free. Again, we'll go with this white noise, and we've just got that now, that full white noise. But this is a really cool trick. Let's just cut this, and we're just going to take the first one. Let's get rid of all this, and we're going to copy this all the way to the end. So at the moment it's just that, okay? But this is a really cool trick. Now, depending what DAW you're on, we're just going to fade this out. We're going to make it a lot smaller. Okay, pull the volume right down. We only want to be hearing it just a little bit. And again, bit of side chain. There we go. It just gives it that top end, like mute and solo, and we'll see the difference. Wicked. Now let's go pull in our loop, and let's pull in our clap. Oh, and let's see how it sounds so far. Let's copy all these over a bit more. Oh, let's have a go at that. Oh, they're way too loud. Let's pull them down. So that's really quick, just using these 4 sounds. Now, if we want to make this even more better and be really precise, that's when we go into the size of the cutoff. Now, the start of the track might be a little bit less aggressive than the main drop, so this is where you'll use the cutoff. So we might want to push this up more for the start, for the main drop.
What's up guys, this is Ashley Wallbridge, hope you're doing good. Want to remix my brand new track with Christine Novelli and Pulsegate and Possible and send it direct to me? Here we go.
You get the full Logic session, stems, MIDI, everything I used. Create your remix your way, just like I made the original. Then submit it to me and I'll personally check it out. Even if it's not selected, I will send you direct feedback. Head over to ashley.wallbridgeacademy.com, buy the pack, download instantly and start creating today. I can't wait to hear what you guys make.
So, let's get that up a bit more. Let's pull this one down a little bit. So you're always going to have, by the way that you measure these on volume, the way how I've always done it is you pick the sub. Firstly, you have to get the sub matched. Let's start that again. So let's just say you've got your sounds sounding cool, but you don't know about the volume control. Now, best way I've always done it is always revert to the kick. So first of all, you do your kick and your sub. So solo the kick, solo the sub. Let's get the volume right there. Yeah, let's get that down. Cool. Now you choose your favourites, the most impactful other bass line. So in this case, it's this one. Get the volume right here. Sounds cool. Now we move on to the next one, which is probably, let's go with this one. And there, if you can't hear a difference, solo, unsolo, solo, unsolo. Now if you can't hear a difference, take it up in volume. Very, very small difference, but it's very significant. Now, same process, the next one. And there we have it. Let's mute these for now. And there we go. That's just the bass. Then you can bring acids in. You can bring plucks, you can bring atmospheres, but that's the fundamental foundation of the track, the bass and the kick. So let's get rid of them for now. Once you've got this, you can build. Without it, you can't do anything. But when building a track, you can feel free to write the skeleton of the idea down with the riffs, the chords, or anything. Then get to work on the kick and the bass, and then you can build on top of it. If you start building on top of a weak bass line, you're always going to have a weak track because you're going to try and you're going to be overcompensating the mix with extra riffs or extra chords or extra pads where you don't actually need extra pads and riffs. It's your bass which is the weak part. Now one thing which you always need to remember with bass, I mean these ones I'm giving away on the tutorial, but feel free to inspect the sound and replace or add. But the most important part when it comes to the sounds of the bass is the ADSR, the attack, decay, sustain and release. These need to be plucky and not bleed into the next note. So for instance, this is plucky, it happens then it goes away. If the release was too high, like all this, and we go up, it stops becoming a bass line and it starts to become a synth. So always be careful of the ADSR, always work on that, and the cut-off, it needs to be plucky and punchy and not bleed. So there we go. Hope you've enjoyed this quick tutorial all these files, the kicks and everything, and these plugins, well, not the plugins, the actual presets are available with the pack. Hope you enjoy. Happy producing.